जीवन्मुक्तिप्रदं देवं क्षमापूर्णं
Paramahamsa Nityananda is a rare living incarnation, a yogi by birth. He has been expressing his power of enlightenment since birth. He has authored more than 500 books in Tamil and English, books in Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Hindi, Sanskrit, Gujarati, Oriya, Bengali, Marathi, French, Malay, Polish, Portuguese, Italian, German, Danish, Spanish, Russian and Chinese, with translations in 26 languages are available. He is also an exemplary speaker with over 8,000 hours of profound life solutions through his discourses. Social services such as Annadan, free medical care, free educational services, ashrams, schools, temples, hospitals established in more than 140 places around the world offer exceptional services. A powerful spiritual healer who has healed millions of people of diseases from migraine to cancer. A Kriya Yogi who has formulated Kriyas for physical health and mental well-being, benefiting thousands. A living master who offers practical solutions for our everyday problems. Having meditation centers in 151 countries including Bidadi, Tiruvannamalai, Rajapalyam, Salem, Hyderabad, Varanasi, Los Angeles, Ohio, Seattle, San Jose and Phoenix. He is the founder and spiritual head of Nityananda Dhyanapitham, a spiritual guru for 10 million followers, an incarnation who transmits the highest spiritual energy through initiation. A contemporary yogi who has revived the Vedic science of yoga worldwide through thousands of yoga centers. Adept in Ashtamahasiddhis, mystical yogic powers, he has effortlessly awakened the Kundalini of thousands, gracing them with spiritual powers. A spiritual powerhouse who has revived the sacred Vedic tradition by establishing Vedic temples worldwide in places like Los Angeles, San Jose, Seattle, Toronto, Ohio, Oklahoma, Phoenix, St. Louis, Malaysia, Brazil, Paris, Guadeloupe, Dallas, New York, New Jersey, Atlanta, Calgary, Vancouver, Singapore, and places like Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Tiruvannamalai in India. A dynamic young guru who is an inspiration to thousands of youngsters. India's most watched spiritual guru online. A beacon of spiritual light who has triumphed over the forces of religious terrorism and political persecution. Paramahamsa Nityananda is an eternal Kalpataru, blessing the world with the boons of material abundance and spiritual enlightenment.
आनन्दानुभवास्वादं सर्वरोगनिवारकं वन्दे पापविनाशक्तं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतं नित्यमुक्तं निर्विकल्पं ध्यानलोकप्रदीपकं वन्दे शान्तमयं बन्धं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम् आनन्दगन्धसञ्चारं सर्वोपाधिविनिर्मुक्तं वन्दे ज्ञानालयं नाथं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम्.
All right, today I'll go to the Bhagavad Gita. After the Bhagavad Gita, sung today, to have the Explosion 2012 volunteers meet. I tell you, even if you are a Bill Gates, whatever you have is obtained by chance. Whether you are in the Dharavi slum or Anil Ambani's house, whatever is obtained is by chance. So whatever is obtained by chance, he who feels enough, when you are having 1 crore, whatever is obtained is by chance. When you are having 1 lakh crore, whatever is obtained is by chance. Money is the worst illogical thing thing all logical human beings believe. The greatest superstition on the planet Earth is not God, it is money. It is the worst collective superstition. I tell you, in the Matrix movie, if the artificial intelligence is the mind, the tub in which all the human beings are made to sleep is money. Money is the greatest paramamaya. Paramamaya means collective delusion. All of us have put ourselves knowingly thinking there is a purpose to create this mechanism, so let us have it. Then suddenly, after 2 generations, the fellows who are created, even their own kids and kin are caught in that delusion. The fellows who created, they thought, no, we are out of this delusion. But after 3 generations, everybody is in, including the creators' kids and kin, kith and kin. It's like a man who creates a system. He thinks, I am above the law, I'll keep myself. I'll create a law such a way that I am always above. Let all other people, everybody else, be under the law. Suddenly, after 2 generations, he is gone. His kith and kin are also caught in the law. So the whole world now is caught in an unconscious understanding which they don't know why they are in. This is what I call Paramamaya. Currency is the worst Paramamaya created by human beings. So whatever you have is by chance. Why should somebody be called as millionaire, somebody be called as billionaire, somebody be called as a beggar? No reason. These media mafia idiots, without asking this question, they are asking, why should you be called as enlightened? Why should we be called as unenlightened? Fool. Ask the right question. Why somebody is called as billionaire, somebody is called as millionaire, somebody is called as a beggar? Find answer for this question, which is the biggest superstition of the world, which is affecting literally all the human beings on the planet Earth. Whether you accept I am enlightened or don't accept I am enlightened, it's not going to affect millions of people all over the world. Of course, it may inspire or not inspire just few lakh people. But you accepting somebody as millionaire, billionaire, beggar is affecting the whole world. The people who are affected by that superstition is billions. The world's worst superstition is money. Instead of questioning that superstition, you go on questioning all other things. When you are feeling gratified with whatever is obtained by chance, means your inner space drops from the world's largest superstition, money. It is not all about money, honey. It is not all about money. Man who drops from the superstition of money. That is what Bhagavan says by the word, he who is gratified with whatever is obtained by chance. I tell you, I give you the practical way. When you are handling money, be very clear, because this is the language world understands. But I am not going to believe this has some power. It can bring a cart I want. It can bring the food I want. It can bring the house I want. But it cannot bring really what I am. I am something more than all my wants put together is not me, is not equivalent to me. All my wants put together is only one part of me. I am something more than all my wants. He who is gratified with whatever is obtained by chance means who has dropped out of the superstition of money. Understand? Money is the greatest superstition affecting the whole world. Few idiots who want to exploit the people gathered together and created the concept of holding. Understand? Created the concept of money. Then unconsciously every fellow started following it. Whoever has rebelled against, they were all killed in the name of law, controlled in the name of law. All the rebels were destroyed in the name of law. I tell you, in course of time, within 2-3 generations, the whole world is drowned. They have forgotten. They have created this superstition called money. If you see the Matrix movie, you can understand how the artificial intelligence which was created by human beings takes over human beings exactly the same way. Money is one of the components of artificial intelligence created by human beings, taken over finally by the human beings. Second qualification, Bhagavan says, who has gone beyond all dualities. For that you need a strong nervous system. The nervous system which can handle the signal of suffering and joy. See, unfortunately, a small signal of joy is enough to make you imbalance, or a small signal of pain is enough to imbalance you. It's really unfortunate. Human beings grow with such a weak nervous system. Just like a food is compulsory, yoga, which makes a strong nervous system, which makes the nervous system in human beings which can handle high frequency pain or pleasure signals, should be made compulsory. Should be made compulsory. And the child sleeping with the father or mother till he or she becomes physically matured should be made compulsory. Actually, if a child sleeps with the father or mother closely till the physical maturity, the nervous system of the child becomes very strong. Because in the night time when you are sleeping in the dream, whatever signal goes through your body does not weaken your nervous system. It doesn't jolt your nervous system. If you are hugging your mother or father and sleeping, that dreams, that signals does not jolt your system. It just disappears. It just does not do any damage to your system. Either you should be in the Gurukul, where you are getting a complete spiritual training, where you are not going to have these nightmares, or sleep with your father or mother till you are physically matured. I know the modern day youth is really suffering. Humanity has never faced this crisis. I have created a 1-year program where you can study the spiritual truths.
Nitya Yoga practices to create healthy body. Spiritual discourses to develop mental health. Meditations that help balance emotions. Kriyas to break mental patterns that create suffering. Opportunity to express leadership qualities. Techniques that improve creative skills. Learn to break all self-limiting barriers to achieve your dreams. Ananda Yogam.
I am providing a platform for you to think, meditate, contemplate and decide about your future. I am giving you 1 year free food, shelter, clothes, above all the spiritual education and intelligence and intuition to take decision about your future.
Every participant is taught the Vedic truths to live life as it leads in a nurturing ambience, along with inspirational spiritual education that helps bring out the best and achieve one's highest potential.
Youth across the world can come and spend an year in Ananda Yogam to work on you, to discover your future, to discover your destiny or recreate your destiny. I'll open my house for you for 1 year completely free. Come and stay here, discover and recreate your destiny.
Interviews at Nityananda Dhyanapitham, Nityananda Nagar, Bidadi, Bengaluru. 97422 03311.
A child till 14 either should be growing closely to the father or mother. When I say closely, not only psychologically, even physically. Playing in the laps of mother, hugging mother, leaning on mother. I never felt shy. Till the age of 17, I'll always be leaning on my mother in the kitchen. Never felt shy. See, in the modern day, these kids, they have all kinds of names. Oh, he's mama's child, his mother's baby and all that. I never had any of that. Knowing that I am a sannyasi, I did not want to learn swimming at the age of 5, knowing that I am a sannyasi, but I never left my mother. I had such a strong, beautiful connection. The child should sleep always physically close to mother till you are physically matured. That makes the dream signals not to weaken the nervous system. See, it's all simple science. The dream is nothing but wild tsunami flow of thought currents that should not actually jolt your nervous system and weaken it. If you are not having any spiritual practice and not having mother's physical presence, every nightmare will jolt you, will weaken your nervous system. After that, even a small depression is enough for you to be in Tippu once for all. And even small thought is enough for you to be in insecurity. Oh, what will happen if I lose his love? If I lose him? If I lose this in my life? If I lose that in my life? It is just weak nervous system. You imagine and create suffering. See, because you imagined and created suffering, now you want It may happen any one day. Why should I wait? Let me make that suffering now itself. All right, any one day you are going to die, it is true. Why don't you commit suicide now? If you know any one day you are going to die, that is right, but psychologically go through the death and be ready. Not actually creating the suffering and physically going through the death. If you feel you are going to lose somebody's love, don't physically distance now, but psychologically go through. If I lose, what will happen? Let me go into that experience and come out. Not physically separating. That is not the solution. It's like, you know, you are going to die one day. What is the solution? Not physically dying, but psychologically dying. Having the strong nervous system, which will take you beyond all dualities, which will bring stability in you. Dvandvatitaha. Actually, this is one of the spiritual name I used during my wandering. I used the name Dvandvatitananda because I like this term, this technical term. I've used different names. Many names I have given to my brahmacharis and brahmacharinis was used by me personally. Dvandvatitananda, Mayatitananda, Atmamanishananda. These are all the names I used personally in my own wandering. Vijnanananda, that was another name I used. Vyomatitananda, that was one name. Dvandva means beyond all dualities, stability, who is free from jealousy. That is the third qualification Bhagavan gives. Who is free from jealousy. Jealousy makes you run like a mad fellow. It makes everybody understands you are mad. Jealousy. See, till you have till you are free from jealousy, nobody understands you are mad. Once you get jealousy, whole world knows you are mad. Jealousy. Jealousy is another one. Collective superstition. I tell you, all the negativity from which you need to come out is nothing but collective superstitions. That is why I am telling you, crossing Maya is not a big job at all. It is such a simple job. You just need to come out of collective superstitions. I will list out all the collective superstitions. 1, money. 2nd, country consciousness. There is no such thing as country. 3rd, jealousy. How will you compare? You are born somewhere, someday, some way by somebody. He is born somewhere, someday, somewhere by somebody. How will you compare? For a decent competition, you need some base. Even between you and your sister, there is so much difference. You and your brothers, there is so much difference. What will you compare? So all comparison is just collective superstition. Waking up from the collective superstition is what I call inner awakening. Inner awakening means waking up from collective superstitiousness. Next qualification, Bhagavan says, who is indifferent to success or the failure. Means who is indifferent to the definition of success or failure by failed society. I tell you, human society is a failure. It is like your father who is a beggar. If he comes and tells you, you are a failure, will you trust him? Will you take his words? He will say, come on, you fellow, you are the biggest failure. You are telling me I am failure. Same way, whoever is calling you are a failure is a big failure. Human society is the greatest failure, don't you see? One side a fellow is sitting on one whole country wealth. Just his next house, the fellow is not even having food. One side, this fellow, his whole house is decorated with multicolor silk cloths. The other fellow doesn't have a clothes to hide himself. Don't you see? One side, atomic weapons are getting piled to kill people in mass. The other side, people don't have medicine for their headache and stomach pain. Whole humanity is a failure. Human civilization, modern civilization. In 2012, please understand, with a clear understanding, man was moved out of human civilization, who is looking the human civilization from above. I declare, oh human civilization, you are failure. You are a big failure. The human settlement on the planet Earth is a big failure. Human society on the planet Earth is a big failure. Human civilization on the planet Earth is a big failure. The failed father has no right to say, judge his son whether he is a failure or success. I tell you, failed humanity has no right to judge whether you are a failure or success. Man who understands failed humanity has no right to judge whether I am a failure or success is success. Understanding the humanity itself is a failure and they have no right to declare, judge your success or failure is success. Look at the whole human civilization. Who wants to live here? I tell you, 99% of the people want enlightenment just to escape from the human civilization. They don't even know what is enlightenment, but they want it because they know they can escape from it, from the human civilization. Only one good thing happened by human civilization is, I got a lot of customers, that's all, who are interested in enlightenment. But human civilization is not supposed to torture people and make them interested in enlightenment. It is supposed to give tremendous understanding to people and lead them to enlightenment. Human civilization, as such, in 2012, I declare as failure. Everything, just human civilization is failure. Understand, Bhagavan is giving these 4 qualifications. He who is gratified with whatever is obtained by chance means understanding the money superstition, superstitiousness of money. Second, who has gone beyond all dualities means having the strong nervous system to hold the pain and pleasure electric signals. Pain, pleasure signals. Not being jolted or shattered by the pain, pleasure signals. Third, who is free from jealousy means out of the superstition, collective superstition of comparison. Fourth, who is indifferent to success or failure means understanding the fellows who are judging you as a failure or success themselves are utter failures. All the thieves gathering together declare you are a thief. All the murderers gather together and say you are a murderer. All the rapists gather together and say you are a rapist. When you understand, society who is judging you itself is a failure. You are free from the branding of failure and success. Fourth is free from the idea of failure or success. If you have these four qualities, even if you are engaged in performing the actions, you are not bound by it. How to live like that? I'll teach you personally in this Explosion 2012 project. I make this sutra, this verse, as a vision statement for the Explosion 2012 project. In this 2012 project, all volunteers are expected to learn these four great truths and drop all the patterns which is not allowing you to experience these four great truths.